Imagine late 17th-century London, a city rebuilt from the Great Fire, its docks bustling, its markets clamoring. Trade routes stretched across oceans, promising vast fortunes, but also immense perils. Pirates, storms, and shipwrecks weren't just abstract threats, they were daily realities that could wipe out a merchant's entire wealth overnight. There was a desperate need for a system to cushion these colossal blows, a way to spread the risk so that one disaster didn't doom an entire enterprise. This era, ripe with both danger and opportunity, laid the perfect groundwork for a revolution in finance. Amidst this vibrant chaos, a new kind of social hub was emerging, the coffee house. These establishments were more than just places to drink an exotic new beverage. They were centers of information, debate, and commerce. News, gossip, and business deals flowed as freely as the coffee itself. For a few pence, a man could enter a world buzzing with current events, often days or weeks before printed newspapers could catch up. They were democratic spaces, open to all who could afford the entry, blurring the lines between social classes. And one coffee house in particular would become legendary. Tucked away on Tower Street, near the shipping heart of London, was Lloyd's coffee house. Opened around 1686, it quickly distinguished itself. Lloyd, a shrewd and observant proprietor, understood the specific needs of his clientele. He attracted merchants, shipowners, and captains, those deeply invested in the fortunes of sea trade. His establishment wasn't just a place for a morning brew, it was becoming the de facto nerve center for maritime intelligence. Lloyd started catering to this specialized crowd by providing reliable shipping news. He'd collect information from captains fresh off their voyages, from port officials, and from his network of informants. He would then post these updates on a large board, transforming his coffee house into a real-time information exchange. This service was invaluable. Knowing which ships had arrived, which had sailed, and which were lost to storms or pirates could make or break a merchant's fortune. Lloyd understood that information was currency, especially in such a high-stakes business. Before Lloyd's, insuring a ship was a haphazard affair. A merchant needing coverage would walk the docks, masking around, hoping to find someone wealthy enough and willing to take on the risk. These deals were often informal, based on personal reputation, and lacked any standardized terms. The process was inefficient, opaque, and highly reliant on luck. This archaic system was clearly unsustainable for the booming global trade that England was developing, hinting at the potential for disaster lurking behind every journey across the vast and unforgiving seas.
What emerged in Lloyd's coffee house was a truly revolutionary concept. Merchants needing insurance would draft a document detailing their ship, its cargo, its destination, and the premium they were willing to pay. Then, individuals looking to invest in these risks, the underwriters, would literally write their names beneath the description, indicating the portion of the risk they were willing to cover. This practice, simple yet profound, gave us the very term underwriter that we still use today. It formalized a handshake into a written contract. This method provided a critical advantage. It allowed the risk of a single voyage to be distributed among multiple parties. If a ship sank, no single underwriter would face ruin. The loss would be shared. This spread of liability made the colossal ventures of global trade far more feasible. It encouraged investment, knowing that catastrophic failure was less likely to bankrupt an entire enterprise. The individual stakes might be smaller, but the collective capacity to absorb losses was vastly increased, creating an early form of diversified risk management. The value of accurate information to these underwriters cannot be overstated. Lloyd began publishing Lloyd's News in 1696, providing even more comprehensive and standardized shipping intelligence. Though it was short-lived in its original form due to political interference, its successor, Lloyd's List, launched in 1734, became an indispensable daily publication. It listed ship arrivals, departures, losses, and other vital maritime events, making informed risk assessment possible and transforming speculation into a calculated endeavor. The reputation of Lloyd's as a center for reliable maritime news and efficient insurance grew steadily throughout the early 18th century. By the 1730s, the group of underwriters who frequented Lloyd's coffee house had become a distinct and influential community. They possessed collective knowledge and a shared interest in the integrity of their trade. This concentration of expertise drew even more business, creating a virtuous cycle where more clients brought more underwriters, further solidifying Lloyd's position as the leading market. The informal arrangements of the coffee house eventually became too unwieldy for the growing volume of business. The community of underwriters needed a more formal structure, a dedicated space, and a set of rules to govern their transactions. This recognition marked a crucial turning point from a social gathering place to a formalized financial institution. The burgeoning British Empire, with its vast global trade networks, demanded a robust and reliable insurance market to support its expansion and protect its valuable assets.
In 1769, a dispute between some underwriters and Edward Lloyd's son, who had taken over the business, led to a significant split. A group of these principal underwriters formed their own society and moved to Pope's Head Alley. This move was not just a change of location, it was a decisive step towards self-governance and professionalization. They rented rooms, established their own rules, and essentially created a members-only club where the serious business of underwriting could be conducted without distraction. By 1774, the Independent Society of Underwriters purchased premises in the Royal Exchange, cementing their status and proximity to the heart of London's financial world. This was a physical manifestation of their growing power and influence. They were no longer simply patrons of a coffee house. They were an organized body, pooling resources, sharing information, and collectively bearing the weight of global maritime risk. This strategic relocation signaled their transition into a formidable financial entity. The year 1774 also saw the creation of the first formal Lloyds Act of Parliament, granting the institution legal standing and defining its purpose. This act was critical, transforming Lloyds from a mere association into a legally recognized corporation. It provided the framework for its governance, its membership, and its operations. This legislative endorsement underscored the importance of Lloyds to the British economy and its growing global ambitions, marking its definitive establishment as a financial powerhouse. The late 18th and early 19th centuries were times of immense global upheaval, particularly the Napoleonic Wars. This era presented both enormous challenges and unprecedented opportunities for Lloyds. With naval blockades, privateers, and the constant threat of capture, maritime insurance became more vital than ever. Lloyd's underwriters played a crucial role in facilitating trade, even in wartime, by providing the financial backbone that allowed merchants to continue their daring ventures across dangerous seas. Risk and reward were amplified to an extreme degree. During this period, Lloyd's developed its unique system of individual members, known as names, who provided the capital to underwrite policies. Each name risked their entire personal fortune to back the insurance contracts, emphasizing a profound level of individual accountability. This unlimited liability model, though later modified, fostered an immense trust in Lloyd's policies. It meant that every underwriter had a personal stake in careful risk assessment and prompt payment, building a reputation for reliability unparalleled in the world. The Lloyd's building at the Royal Exchange became a bustling microcosm of global commerce. From its lutein bell, rung to announce overdue ships or significant news, to its network of Lloyd's agents scattered in every major port worldwide, the institution was a hub of real-time intelligence. These agents provided crucial on-the-ground reports about ship conditions, cargo status, and local risks, feeding a constant stream of data back to London, enabling underwriters to make increasingly precise calculations in a rapidly changing world. As the world industrialized, Lloyd's adapted. Its focus expanded beyond purely maritime risks to cover the new perils of steamships, railways, and burgeoning factories. The advent of air travel brought aviation insurance, and later even space satellites found their coverage at Lloyd's. This constant evolution demonstrated Lloyd's remarkable ability to pivot and innovate, proving that the principles of risk assessment and pooled capital could apply to virtually any new venture, no matter how unprecedented or complex it seemed. The 20th century brought unprecedented challenges: 2 world wars, economic depressions, and natural disasters on a scale never before imagined. Lloyd's played a critical role in ensuring the war efforts, covering merchant shipping and even government assets. Yet this era also highlighted vulnerabilities in its unlimited liability model. Massive claims from events like the San Francisco earthquake and the Bhopal disaster exposed names to losses that threatened their personal fortunes, prompting significant reforms and modernization. By the 1980s, the unlimited liability system for names was becoming unsustainable. Huge losses from asbestos claims and a series of catastrophic natural disasters led to a financial crisis within Lloyds. Thousands of names faced ruin, prompting a radical overhaul of the institution's structure. This crisis, though painful, forced Lloyds to confront its archaic practices and modernize, moving towards a more corporate capital structure while retaining its unique market principles. It was a near-death experience that forged a stronger future. The 1990s saw the introduction of corporate capital into Lloyds, allowing limited liability companies to become underwriters alongside individual names. This move provided much-needed diversification of capital and limited the personal risk for investors, ensuring the market's long-term viability. It was a conscious effort to balance tradition with the demands of modern finance, preserving the essence of the Lloyds model while adapting to global economic realities. This strategic shift secured its future for centuries to come.
Today, Lloyds of London operates from its iconic modern building, a masterpiece of industrial architecture designed by Richard Rogers. It remains a global leader in specialist insurance, covering everything from oil rigs to cyber attacks, from satellite launches to celebrity body parts. The open market, where brokers negotiate directly with underwriters, still thrives, embodying the spirit of that original coffee house, where face-to-face interaction and trust were paramount to every transaction. Despite its transformations, the core principles established in Edward Lloyd's coffee house endure. The concept of shared risk, the importance of accurate information, and the willingness of individuals to underwrite complex ventures remains central to its operation. Lloyd's is not an insurance company, it is a market, a vibrant ecosystem where risk is traded, ideas are exchanged, and innovation is constant. Its enduring legacy is a testament to the power of human ingenuity in the face of uncertainty. From a simple gathering of merchants seeking to protect their ships, Lloyd's grew into a global financial institution that has influenced the very fabric of trade and commerce. It navigated centuries of change, crises, and technological revolutions, always finding new ways to assess and manage the world's most complex risks. Its story is a vivid illustration of how a localized, informal innovation can scale to become an indispensable pillar of the global economy, providing financial stability through an ever-changing landscape. The next time you hear about a major global event, from a hurricane to a space launch, chances are Lloyd's is somewhere in the background, providing the essential coverage that allows such endeavors to proceed. It reminds us that behind every grand venture, every bold exploration, and every technological leap, there's a quiet infrastructure of risk management, ensuring that progress can continue even when the unexpected inevitably happens. The story of Lloyd's is truly the story of the world betting on its future. And that, my friends, is the tale of how a humble coffee house, born from the simple human need to mitigate uncertainty, became the beating heart of global insurance, forging a financial empire one signature at a time. It's a testament to the fact that groundbreaking financial systems don't always begin with grand government decrees or powerful banking dynasties. Sometimes they begin with a good cup of coffee, a shared problem, and the courage of individuals willing to put their name on the line. What a story, right?